Essential workers ain't getting paid. So get your check. No, that's not the review block. Social media. This divide feels so sharp. It is according. spark people arguing about it. Just stir up controversy. Yeah, sex one. That's what should be doing. You were speaking. The hate. Oh, what the heck is going on? Get back to your real world. I don't feel it. Get back to your real world. I don't feel it. You need to stop listening to the internet. Power. This 2019. Journalism is under attack, and Lewis Gates Jr. And when you stop listening to social media and be in the world, oh, it's so beautiful. So it's about myself. Rage big about myself. Integrity back in the There's somebody out there for the facts. So, Mm, only through stop listening to the internet. Mm. The typical homosexual is married. Boy, to Tamika, Bob, and Jamal to have the affair. Mm, mm, a lot of in the civil rights movement. Fire thrust used to get in trouble all the time and you get locked up for Fast Death of World War II. So he's a big guy and the athlete that he got disciplined in solitary confinement millions of times for male inmates. So Dr. King's number one god. That's what Byron Rustin. Then look at the family before. Injured slave. To this in France. These were the people counted as this. unfortunately, in Congress. Sarah Palin of Sam Palin, cousin of Barack. Just like he ran against McCain, he was running against one of his cousins. Dick Cheney was a cousin. He is trying to frame the narrative. So, George Albuquerque justification weapons mass destruction. It's Tyrese Halliburton. So, so all these people are family members. Just a freak in a family. Brad Pitt was a Brad Pitt so Warren Buffett. So is Warren. So they're all cousins. So they're all cousins. You wussed out. Man, you wussed out. Mm. His mama got sick. So he does this thing, and one of the most embarrassing moments that I hear is a black attorney, or it's a black man, was in front of 5 members of the U.S. Supreme Court and the Second Circuit Court of Judiciary. Judicial Court. Oh, nope. And Judge Mathis lectured them for 2 hours on television in the courtroom because at that point, 20 something years ago, the U.S. Supreme Court and the public courts of the United States and other courts were concerned about opening. No, you need to accomplish. Sorry, I'm rehearsing for a gospel play. So I found that embarrassing. You do the church gospel play. You miss out the opportunity to address it. It's a part of that circle for educational, for a regional legal educational purpose, and you miss the opportunity to do that because you're in a gospel rehearsal. That's clown show stuff. that crap that he does about endorsing LGBTQ, and that crap he be endorsing LGBT. That crap that he does about endorsing LGBTQIA. Oh, he 160 in the room. Flunky and acting ignorant. I never said anything about him, but he wanted to badmouth him because he apparently likes to have that Joe and Ho thing with Joe Biden and Ho Harris. And he got offended and I called his little fake negress a hoe, which she is entitled to sexual activity, but she did it for money. And then bitch, if that makes you a hoe if you do it for pay. He called my wife a hoe. He had to answer me. I called his wife a hoe, but I hope for his sake she ain't. If you are, I might tell you what you are. So when he talked to, he wanted to badmouth me. I think he was trying to deal with bravado, but he said somebody, I can find in Memphis. Well, if you want to be a fool enough to set yourself up for it, go right ahead. Um, I thought it was foolish. I thought it was typical, and that's why he lasted so long. I was not number one, number two, one money making. He was down there. That's that. Once they do, they invite you to the party. That's why you go to the party. That's why New York is gonna be terrible. That's New York is gonna be terrible. Hey, what you doing? I'm leaving this set. Let me pay you by this. I'm getting the hell up out here. Let me go back to now. Not me. You see, they get you caught up in there and get trapped if you fell into that. So they take your bat off, help you put your britches down and boxers and bend you over and part initiative and that catechism. And you be helping out so they can poison the minds of America with the have no purpose. Get rid of your masculinity, be emotional, and get upset, and make somebody supposed to take care of you. So that was a poisonous thing. So, like some other people who were involved, and I refuse to get involved with. Not for other people who were. I refuse to get involved in the social scene because that's poisonous. Just completely pointless. They have an agenda. So, yeah, that's Mathis. He take his punk self somewhere else and go deal with his rainbow fixation. Oh shit, rainbow. He's so sensitive. I found it funny because you're a fake tough guy. I'm a man. I'm taking the courage and bring it him myself now. So, uh, so violence. And you used to hang around and you was the nice guy or the hang with. know, they cheating. It's just another, yeah, weirdos. And most of these entities are weirdos. Hollywood are weirdos too. So boys, let's put some messages down. We can have all this. I don't trust me. So yeah, so he has it. Bottom line is that I don't talk about that. I just think I'm a man who stands up for his dude. Like a whole lot of other people I'm personally acquainted with. Or before they left us. And, so, I mean, let's just be careful what you selling wolf tickets. You know what a wolf ticket is? I've seen some wolf tickets. Some people bought a whole book of tickets with the premiere performance. And they have encore and a curtain call that they got too. So, these whole tap. And some ex-cons are broke and they are ex-cons. Ex-cons. And that's why it's gay. You are a masculine one. You become masculine. They're masculine. Something. Having sex all the time. But these herbal tea are the biggest damn freaks. Herbal tea, frankincense, and myrrh are the biggest freaks. So are some of the biggest damn freaks. Who's in the military? Are the biggest damn freaks. emasculate themselves. Most of the criminals, they get emasculated. And I'm trying to be gay, so he get this plain woman who is a stripper, and he started making her friend and sex it up, so she becomes the person that helps him run the country. It's bad mouthing straight men. It is bad mouthing straight men. The stripper, and he started making her friend, and he sets it up so she becomes a person in indoctrination camps. Yes, and making them look like villains. Meanwhile, somebody gay comes in and helps out somebody that's a plain Jane girl or foolish woman, and they emasculate. So when you look at those art, you ask it does it mirror. That's why it's so much sass. It's sass. Sass. Sass and zest. We call each other gay. Culture is people who are by the boule and such as that boule background circumstances. I think he's poisonous. The worst thing that we have is I know Flip Wilson used to do wasn't done, but he institutionalized this tranny thing with Medea. The industry pushed it out because part of their agenda was legitimate and popularized and accepted this transvestitism. It's a sickness, but they made it normal. And quite frankly, the character material is a sickness, but they made it normal. And quite frankly, the character Medea in the real world will probably be somebody that will be really serious beatdown from the things that were normalized through the presentation. Think about it. Oprah too. Roger King auditioned 350 over women, and he picked Oprah. He said, "Oh, candidly, he want a poster for quote ugly, stay-at-home female, ugly, stay-at-home female." And Gail has been doing their thing, but the truth of the matter is, every opportunity that woman got on her show that was drafted, directed, and franchised by Roger King was anti-masculine. Roger King was an interesting guy. His father invented syndication for television. The Little Rascals, the Three Stooges, the whole black and white movies, the whole cartoon that were replayed on the Kitty Show. And his daddy set up. Roger King was a 6'5" tackle, a football player who was just straight up man who like this Jack Daniels. Great guy. But he inherited his father's business, which is known as King World. And he set upon expanding and he recruited Oprah. He recruited Dr. Phil. He was doing the He was the one that ran our business, set up our own. Yeah, he died. He was the one who ran her business, set up her own, and he died quickly with an illness, cerebral hemorrhage, or a massive heart attack, depending upon who you're listening to. He was very much into manhood and actually has to be talked to his daughters about why they were having problems with men. One of his daughters married a nice guy, and the other one was like a beauty queen who died of breast cancer. Unfortunately, they're saying, Judge, how come I can't find a guy that go out with who's not with mama? And, you know, and we see that on the real world consequences. So he discovered Oprah, he set her up, and before she could get the foundation left, now you go on headquarters, you see some rather older women who represent the consortium that acquired the financial uh, framework was on, and they run it. Last time I went into somebody tried to sell a show, I didn't want to have anything to do with it, but I did it as a favor to some people that I work with. I saw two young black people in there. One was a gay guy doing Michael Jackson typical lightly, and the other one was some young sister with her head shaped plaid shirt and overalls and work boots. And first of all, everybody of that more like they were a Birkenstock sandals. And I say that because Gag on game show is a guest star. So, so that's part of the industry. Stedman, that's supposed to be her boyfriend. He lives out in the pool house. Okay. Every now and then you might see Stedman in the red carpet, which you see would be just be talking about. So anyway, it is what it is. She and Tyler Perry have done a lot to rape. It was a beautiful thing with the black of the end of the 1960s and the early 70s. She used to work for a government Nettie Stowers that had a talk TV show that was in Nashville. Oprah was known as that bad feet, bad legs, bad body, bad complexion, bad hair, and bad attitude. She just got away, scratched away from TSU, which was in 1973. And Roger King found her a couple of years when he auditioned 357 and she put as a poster for ugly stay-at-home female Americans. They were poster child for ugly stay-at-home female Americans. When we became friends, so see what happened is I wound up being a Viacom show along with Judge Judy. And what wound up happening is we went to Paramount Television, which was Viacom, which is top heavy with nepotism, so have everything efficiently. CBS saw my show and Judge Judy show by Viacom, and Viacom brought in Roger King, who brought in Oprah and Dr. Phil, so he had a special special interview with Judge Judy, Dr. Phil, Oprah Winfrey, and Judge Joe Brown. So he came to me after a few months and said, this studio is trying to make you go away. You're their number one money maker. And you take the stock hold. I said, exactly. I helped them stay in the black rather than the red, like most of the entertainment industry at the time. And say, yeah, they're trying to destroy you every time. They don't make the list. The studios make the list, and the paparazzi. Your studios do not have you on any. In a few months, I started to beat Dr. Phil regularly, and a few more months, and I started to beat Oprah in the ratings regularly. For the last 5 years, I was with CBS syndicating, including 2 years after Roger King died. I was winning the number one or the number two syndicating show in the United States of America for the daytime syndication. In some areas where they played like in the southeast or prime time, I was number one in that. But you never heard of that. All they talk about was Oprah, who's way, way below me and Judy in the race. And Judge you and the other one was tied with the two of us was Wheel of Fortune. So that was an old time game show, and Judy and I, we did was provided guidance to the American public on what was legally appropriate, and what I did was appropriate or masculine fashion. Judy, she's 4 feet 6, 4 feet 6, weighs about 80 pounds, and she had her own issues with her and her husband Shylon. And she had her own little issues with her and her husband, Shylon, who took from what was it, Mayor Koch, who ran People's Court and under Judge Wapner for a long time. And there were all kinds of issues in that. And she was a nice Jewish mama for Hollywood. The issues in that 71, 70 years. She was a nice Jewish mama figure from Hollywood, which had a very large contention to Jewish participants, and they responded to that. And I was a threat because I wasn't going along with their rainbow thing. All they kept about is approaching me is about doing PSAs for her. That ain't my problem. You do that, but I'm not. When I first started, you see, or I can mention gives the idea what the flavors about. I had my show of a month and a half with the Beverly Hills well on Stephen on the don't mean you always right. Just because you loud don't mean you always right. See, gorgeous women, and I ran into one that I kind of hit it off with. So you sat down at the table and we talked, and she got up, went to the laser, and she came back and said, "You know that tall guy in that gray suit? Yeah, I mean, like, you offer 2,000 in cash if I sign the notice that you try to fill up on." So guess who it was? It was the CEO for Big Ticket Television, the entity that was doing my show. So she was now gonna run and track down all of them I dance with and sound and say, "You offer them money for this." Man, stop cheating. In 1998. So they already tried to set up. So I hired a beautiful black woman. Child, Kundalini spirit. My black queens, brother. You're my sister, Black Queen. Black Queens. Sister of that scam. Black Queens too. Hired to be my publicist so we could set up these directors, fictional woman. And my collaborators start going around with some Hollywood types and telling them that this woman was complaining about me trying to make moves on her simultaneously on the seal and being human resource for big ticket television. And then some with CBS and do their bid. So they came off with a letter invitation woman. So I laughed about it and my agent come over, my attorneys, and I had my PR person and we went over there and stormed the meeting. It's because they got nothing to say. No. Set them up for the scam that they try to pull on us. So 60s time all was going I was there for them. They just know how to play the game, did they? So then it wasn't 19, 20, 25, something. I bet a criminal court, file lawyer, and a judge. Hell, I could you fault. But they were going to have them out, even if it was funny. They put on a cocktail party and they brought in all of these area LA Superior Court judges. So I'm supposed to be surprised. So I'm supposed to be impressed. I started laughing at them. So I'm supposed to be impressed. I started laughing at them. Because the conversations, their shots start to turn. I have seen you. You know him? Yeah, he recruited me in law school. Yeah, he got me financial assistance through law school. Yes, he got me a job. Yeah, he got me a job. So he got me a job, so you already know him. Yeah, so we go back a long way. So they taken all my friends in these juniors that I had assisted and started on their careers, and they were trying to get me freaked out like, oh, gee, all the people we know and all the influence we have. See, that's the way they play that game. You take somebody who's a naive country bumpkin or some kid coming off the hood as you know, if that's a female. So they getting impressed by this kind of. They get impressed. Most of the people get impressed by this stuff, but some of them not. Coming out the hood or something. Kids be doing to selling beef they to get a part, and it's a female equivalent too. And they get impressed by this kind of stuff, but somebody else might not. So that's the way this industry works. I guess that's a long way of getting around and talk about what happens in this industry. Now, I'm sure Tyler Perry is fine for what he does, and people love his work. Same thing with Oprah. She's an icon, but quite frankly, I think that in the serious brand of Minecraft that they've been pervading to various communities around this country, for quite a few decades and has been done haven't done us any good. That's First Amendment stuff they entitled to do. That's First Amendment stuff and they entitled to do it. That's the WNBA terms. So, Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese,